She was called the Nordic Sphinx, a goddess of the silver screen who conquered Hollywood using nothing but the power of her silent stare. To look at her was to look at poetry in motion, but at the absolute peak of her power, she did the unthinkable. She walked away. Greta Garbo didn't just leave Hollywood. She vanished into the shadows of New York City, spending half a century fleeing the very world that worshipped her. Who was the real woman behind the cold, Swedish beauty? Today, we unlock the beautiful, tragic mystery of Greta Garbo, from her humble beginnings in Stockholm to her immortal reign over the silver screen. Born Greta Lovisa Gustafsson in Stockholm, Sweden, her early life was far from glamorous. Growing up in severe poverty, she lost her father at just 14 and had to work in a department store to support her family. But Greta dreamed of a different destiny. In 1922, her raw potential earned her a scholarship to prestigious Royal Dramatic Theatre's acting school in Stockholm. It was here that the shy, insecure teenager began to learn the strict discipline of dramatic art, practicing how to project emotion, control her posture, and command a room. While still at the academy, her destiny changed forever when she met the brilliant and eccentric Swedish director Moritz Stiller. Stiller saw something in Greta Tank no one else did. He became her mentor, her protector, and her demanding architect. He changed her last name to Garbo, forced her to lose weight, and taught her how to let the camera look directly into her soul. Stiller cast her in her breakthrough Swedish film, The Saga of Ghost of Berling, in 1924. Her performance caught the attention of Louis B. Mayer, the head of Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Hollywood came calling, but Garbo refused to go unless Stiller came with her. When they arrived in Hollywood, MGM didn't know what to do with Garbo. Even worse, Hollywood quickly pushed her mentor, Moritz Stiller, out of the studio system due to conflicts with producers. Heartbroken, Stiller returned to Sweden and died shortly after. Garbo was devastated. Her career was gone, but his creation was about to conquer the world. Her official Hollywood debut came in early 1926 with The Torrent. Though she played a Spanish peasant-turned-opera star, the screen illuminated the moment her face appeared. Reviewers were instantly transfixed. Mayer realized he had a gold mine. MGM rushed her immediately into her next project that same year, The Temptress. This was a film that solidified her ultimate archetype, the fatal woman, the tragic lover whose beauty is both a gift and a curse. The Temptress proved that Garbo didn't need words. Her sorrowful, melancholic blue eyes did all the talking. Her legendary silent filmography reached its absolute peak with Flesh and the Devil later that year and Love in 1927. In these films, she starred alongside John Gilbert. Their on-screen chemistry was so intensely real that it spilled over into a passionate, off-screen romance. Gilbert was madly in love, but when he proposed, Garbo left him standing at the altar. Her independence was non-negotiable. By 1930, the silent era was dead. While many stars saw their careers instantly ruined by the arrival of sound, Garbo triumphed, marked by the famous slogan, "Garbo Talks." Her deep velvet Swedish accent in the film Anna Christie only made the world fall deeper under her spell.
Give me a whiskey, ginger ale on the side. And don't be stingy, baby.
The 1930s became the decade of her absolute artistic dominance, starting with the massive box office hit Mata Hari in 1931. Playing the iconic exotic double agent, Garbo brought a stunning mix of eroticism, mystery, and tragic romance to the screen. In 1932, Garbo starred in Hollywood's first true mega-ensemble film, Grand Hotel. playing Grzinskaya, an aging, melancholic Russian ballerina on the brink of despair. Garbo blurred the lines between fiction and reality. It was in this film that she delivered the 5 words that would define the rest of her life.
I just want to be alone.
You're going to be very much alone, my dear madame. This is the end.
Though she later clarified, she actually meant, I want to be let alone, not left alone. The public didn't care. Grand Hotel became a massive critical and commercial triumph, winning the Academy Award for Best Picture. Garbo's performance became a masterclass in cinematic melancholia. She captured the heavy burden of fame, portraying a woman suffocated by the world's admiration. By 1933, Garbo possessed unprecedented power in Hollywood. She exercised it fully in Queen Christina, a historical epic loosely based on the 17th century Swedish monarch. Studio executives wanted Laurence Olivier as her screen partner, but she sabotaged the screen test in favor of John Gilbert, whose career had collapsed with the arrival of the talkies. Fierce and fiercely loyal to her former lover, Garbo refused to shoot unless Gilbert was cast as her leading man. In doing so, she effectively saved his dignity but could not save his career. Queen Christina is widely considered one of her most daring and modern films. Garbo subverted traditional gender roles on screen, spending much of the movie dressed in men's attire and even sharing a groundbreaking on-screen kiss with another woman. The film contains some of the most legendary scenes in cinema history. First, the bedroom scene, where Christina walks around the room, gently touching the furniture, try to memorize the space where she spent her happiest hours. And second, the jaw-dropping final close-up on the bow of the ship. Director Ruben Mamoulian told Garbo to make her mind a complete blank sheet of paper, expressing absolutely no emotion, so the audience could project their own feelings onto her. The result was pure, immortal magic. After starring in the emotional drama The Painted Veil in 1934, Garbo continued her streak of masterful literary adaptations with Anna Karenina in 1935. Portraying Leo Tolstoy's tortured heroine, she perfectly embodied the guilt, passion, and despair of a Russian high society woman trapped in a tragic affair. In 1934, Garbo reached the absolute pinnacle of her dramatic acting career in 1936 with Camille, playing Alexander Dumas' tragic courtesan, Marguerite Gautier. Garbo delivered what many critics consider the single greatest performance ever recorded on film. As a woman torn between true love and a scandalous past, Garbo brought a heartbreaking vulnerability to the screen. The final scene, where Marguerite dies of tuberculosis in the arms of her lover Armand, is devastatingly beautiful. Garbo's voice drops to a frail whisper, her radiant skin paling under the shadow of death. It earned her an Academy Award nomination and solidified her not just as a glamorous icon, but as one of the greatest dramatic actresses to ever live. By the late 1930s, the dark clouds of World War II were gathering over Europe, and the global box office was changing. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer knew that Garbo's signature European melodramas were losing their market. She needed a reinvention. She needed to do something she had never done before in a sound film. Smile. In 1939, MGM launched one of the most brilliant marketing campaigns in history. Decades after the world gasped at Garbo talks, the billboards now shouted, Garbo laughs. The film was Ninotchka, a razor-sharp political satire directed by the master of sophisticated comedy, Ernst Lubitsch, and written by Billy Wilder. Garbo played Nina Ivanovna Yakashova, a cold, unyielding Soviet envoy sent to Paris to correct 3 bumbling agents who had been seduced by capitalist luxury. Lubitsch used Garbo's real-life reputation as a cold, unapproachable Nordic sphinx to perfection. In the first half of the film, Ninotchka is a walking stone monument to communist doctrine. When Melvin Douglas's character tries to flirt with her, she dissects love as a mere chemical reaction. She is the ultimate straight-faced comedy anchor. But then, the magic happens. In a crowded, smoky Parisian cafe, Leon tries desperately to make her laugh with bad jokes. She doesn't even blink. But when Leon accidentally trips and crashes backward on his chair, the armor cracks. Garbo doesn't just smile. She erupts into a raw, joyful, belly-shaking laugh that filled the theater. It was a cultural earthquake. For the first time, humanity saw the warm, vulnerable woman behind the immortal goddess. Ninotchka was much more than simple comedy. It was a daring political satire released just weeks after World War II broke out. It boldly mocked the bleakness of Stalin's Soviet Union, while simultaneously poking fun at Western capitalism's obsession with superficial luxury. Garbo's transition from a rigid ideological soldier to a woman intoxicated by love and a beautiful Parisian hat was an acting tour de force. She proved her comedic timing was as impeccable as her tragic dramatic range. Ninotchka earned Garbo her final competitive Academy Award nomination. It was a triumph to humanize her, showing that the goddess could descend from Mount Olympus and join the rest of the world in a moment of pure, shared joy. But the light-hearted joy of Ninotchka was short-lived. In 1941, MGM tried to duplicate that comedic success with Two-Faced Woman, hoping completely Americanize her image. They put her in swimwear, made her dance the rumba, and cast her in a messy plot of dual identities. This time, the formula failed completely. The critics were brutal, calling it unworthy of her talent, and the film underperformed. Garbo, notoriously sensitive and intensely proud, felt deeply betrayed by the studio's attempt to cheapen her mystique. Combined with the stress of a world tearing itself apart in World War II, 36-year-old Greta Garbo decided she had had enough. Two-Faced Woman became her final curtain call. She walked out of the studio gates, turned her back on Hollywood, and never looked back. She moved to a secluded apartment in Manhattan, New York, overlooking the East River. For the next 50 years, she became the ultimate prize for the paparazzi. A global, relentless game of hide-and-seek began on the streets of New York. Photographers would camp outside her building for days, waiting for the divine one to step outside for her daily walks. They tried desperately to capture a glimpse of the aging goddess, to strip away the armor of her mystery. But Garbo fought back with absolute silence. She walked fast, hid behind massive sunglasses, and never gave another interview. The world had built a temple for her, but she preferred the gray sidewalks of New York, walking among millions as a ghost. Greta Garbo passed away in New York in 1990 at the age of 84. Her physical body left us, but the world never stopped worshiping her. From the acting schools of Stockholm to her Hollywood debut in The Torrent, her masterclasses in Grand Hotel, Queen Christina, Camille, and her brilliant laughter in Ninotchka, she remains an impossible star. Her only sin was being too beautiful for a fragile world. And our only sin was dreaming of a woman who belonged entirely to the mystery. Generation after generation, her light refuses to burn out, because inside that dark theater hall, Greta Garbo achieved the one thing time can never touch: immortality.
I dare to dream.